Great result. What's your initial reaction after that?
Pleased to get a win. You get a bonus point. It's great. Lots of good stuff, particularly early in the game. I thought it was great to get a big crowd as well. That's one of the big challenges, for sports teams at the moment. So we're very, very appreciative of the crowd that we had here. So last 20 minutes are probably the thing that is lingering a little bit for us in terms of some frustrations. Because ultimately, like Bath win that last 20-minute period 7-0. So, but anyway, if you'd given it to us earlier in the week, we probably would have settled for it. So for now, it's just trying to turn the page now, because we have a short turnaround into Montpellier away next weekend. So that'd be a totally different type of challenge to what we faced today.
Absolutely. And how important was it, I suppose, to show a signal of intent for going forward?
Only so really. Like, as in, the tournament's not won in round one. So for us, it just feels like we're still trying to get going a little bit. The season is unusual. We're in December, middle of December, and we had a 5-game block at the start of the season where we sort of by round 4 and 5 of that block we were starting to hit a bit of decent form. Then obviously there's the November break, and so we're third game post that break now. So just trying to get going again. So the big thing is for us trying to improve week on week. Lots of good stuff I thought in the first half. As I said, like in terms of putting together an 80-minute performance, we're still a bit off. But we've come through the game in a reasonably with a reasonable clean bill of health. So it's just about building now into next week and putting in I think we'll need to put in a much better performance, because Montpellier, they picked a bit of a scratchy team for tonight's game, but they've been going very, very well in the top 14. And you look through their squad, they've a ton of experience and a ton of top end talent as well. So it's a great challenge for us. Going away to France is always tough. So I think it's important that the group get excited now and look forward to that challenge.
And it was brilliant as well to have some European debuts as well. We've seen in Dan, Tommy, and Michael as well tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Just trying to add that bit of experience to some of the younger players, and hopefully it'll be better for it later in the tournament.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You said on Friday you were looking for maximum points that you could get today, and you had that pretty much after 21 minutes. Do you think, though, you left points off the scoreboard at the end, the last 20-25 minutes? It did look like you maybe took your foot off the gas, probably, understandably so, being so far ahead. But do you think you left it a bit out there on the pitch?
No, definitely. The game got very, very loose quite early, really. And then we lacked that control on the game. So some of that's, down to us as coaches. We make some changes early, which creates a bit of disruption in terms around that cohesion part. And obviously that's the decision we make. So maybe that some of it is in our hands as coaches as well. So, but yeah, we lose, we become a little bit loose and lose a little bit of focus. And yeah, as you can see, it was tit for tat. Both teams were having cracks, and the game became loose, and lots of turnovers in the last 20 minutes. And that it didn't particularly suit us, did it? So yeah, it was a pity that we didn't probably kick on a little bit more, because what we're 45-13 at 57 or 58 minutes, and as I said, the last 22-23 minutes, it's 7-0 to Bath. So sort of a lost opportunity, but anyway, it's important we just turn the page now and focus on the next challenge.
You were able to bring on a few people, obviously, off the bench, being so far ahead. Anybody put their hand up possibly for next week?
It was mixed. I thought. I think the bench was a little bit mixed, but we'll have a look through the game, and there's a couple of guys didn't feature today that will be back in the selection mix as well for next week. So we'll see how all the bodies are and make a plan now for Montpellier on Friday night.
Thank you.
Rhys, how much stock can you place in a result like that against a team who kind of have their own struggles and a lot of injuries? That for Leinster, is it easy to assess where you are as a team when you come up against a side like that?
I think everything we spoke about there was with regards to our performance, and regardless of the scoreline, we can feel when we're making those uncharacteristic mistakes. We have those lapses in focus, and we take our foot off the gas. So I think there was a lot of good things, especially in the first half, but even looking at ourselves, regardless of the result in terms of the performance, we can feel that we're not quite where we want to be. But as Leo said, it's only round one. It's important we take those learnings, and it's a short turnaround as well, and then a massive game in France. So try and rest up tomorrow, and then come in with the right attitude to learn and get better next week.
Leo, what do you make of Kieran going in at 10 then? Was that part of the plan once the points are on the board?
It was good to see Kieran, yeah. He's covered that for us in the past, like where he's played or been on the bench, and it gives us great flexibility. Even so, that's sometimes we've gone with that 6-2 split as well in the past as well, with his versatility there, because he's even played at 15 as well. So it was good. He's taxed the line well, particularly when he played at 10 and made some good clean line breaks. We didn't quite manage to finish off some of the good work that he's done there, but it was pleasing to see. I thought Ross steered us around the field well. As I said, when he went off, we were 45-13 at that stage. So, it's good exposure, good experience for Kieran.
Is Johnny in the running for Friday? He said he was hoping to make it back for round 2. Where is he?
Yeah, so we'll see how he comes through the week. Yeah, it's hard to talk about all the different individuals based off the week that we've had.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, Leo, for next week, how do you bring that intensity to the game from the first half today? Like that you don't fall off a bit as happened maybe in the second half?
We won't be able to afford to do it next week because it's a whole different beast that we're taking on next week now. Montpellier, you just look at the depth to their squad, the quality international players that they have there. They've close to unlimited budget, really, is what they have. And I know they're very, very ambitious there. So they're motored around pretty well in the top 14s in a third at the moment. And it's a brilliant challenge for us now. For us just to get excited about the week now, and even just listening to some of the sound bites from Montpellier. Obviously they've sent a sort of a funny selection to Exeter for tonight, and sort of the general message is that they've got their big stars resting up this week, getting ready for our game. So that's a great challenge for us.
With the new format, 4 games, do you think it's more difficult competition?
It depends if you win the 4 games or not. So we're up and running anyway. We have 5 points. There's less control because you're in a pool of 12 teams, and you don't get to play the majority of the teams in your pool. So it's a very, very unusual format. But that's the way it has to be, just because of the numbers, etc. So for us, just trying to control what we can. And that's trying to put in a big performance, and whatever way that game goes next week, that we're scrapping right to the very end and getting maximum points. We talked about this week, but unfortunately we didn't quite deliver on that in the last 20 minutes, because we're trying to get as big a score as possible. But anyway, that's done now, so we just need to move on to the next challenge and see if the game unfolds next week, and try and maximise every point we can get out of the game next week, and see where we sit. And then we've got the derby, individual derbies over Christmas, and we're back into round 3 and 4, and it's similar meshes then. So where we play again, Montpellier home game, then away to Bath last. So obviously we've got to face Bath again now. So it's important that we learn the lessons from this game, mainly with that next game against them in mind. So totally different challenge again, going over to the Rec than it is playing here at the Aviva.